One of the simplest pieces of code is what I was showing in the previous lecture. It's these pop-up dialog windows. And that's a simple way for you to be able to communicate with your web users. So I'm going to open up Adobe brackets and I'm going to actually add some JavaScript. So right now I have a default HTML5 template and I'm going to add some JavaScript up here in the head section just beneath the metadata. And the way that we add JavaScript, so there are a number of ways to add JavaScript into your web pages, and we're going to be going over those throughout the course as well. So one of the most common ways is just opening and closing script tags, and anything in between here is going to be JavaScript. So if you're familiar with HTML, this is going to be the same type of format where the browser comes, it reads through all of the HTML code. When it hits the script tag, it understands that this content in here is now JavaScript, and it reads through that JavaScript, and then afterwards it renders out that content that's available within the JavaScript. So one of the most simplest ways is these dialog boxes, and it's really simple. They've got these built-in functions or methods, and we're going to talk about that later on in the course as well. What they are. So for now, it's just important to understand that the window, when it renders out, it's got a whole bunch of these built-in functions, and one of them is the alert function. And a function is just a piece of code predefined, and the browser actually understands what it's supposed to do. So when it hits alert, it knows that alert is formatted in a way that this is a dialog that's going to open up, and that quoted area in the middle here is going to be the content that it's going to place within that alert. So let's go back out to our web page and show you what that looks like. So all it is this dialog box, and you can't actually click on anywhere else within your browser, so it locks access to the rest of the browser until you hit that OK. So this is going to be for the user, requiring that user to make interaction with this pop-up dialog box, because at this point the JavaScript is preventing the rest of the web page from rendering out any additional content, and also preventing the user from interacting unless they're actually clicking the OK, and then they're free to go through and use their browser again. So that's one of the simplest ways to create some user interaction, and although that's probably not the most pleasant user interaction that we can deliver, it's just a really good simple example of what JavaScript can do, and it's a good starting point for this course, implementing JavaScript code. So I would encourage you to go over to a website such as CodePen, or open up Notepad, or whatever editor that you have available. You can even use TextPad. Most computers will have a default editing software where you can just create files and save them as either HTML files, and then open them up within your browser and render out those alerts. So all you really need to do is add that into your HTML with the script tags and do something like alert, and type in your own custom message. In the next lesson, we're going to be diving deeper into what JavaScript can do, because this is just scratching the surface. There's so much that's available for JavaScript. Possibilities are literally endless and limitless availability of what you can do once you start writing JavaScript code. So that's all coming up in the next lessons.